Hi, I'm Delegate Patrick Hope, and welcome back to my weekly video update, the Budget Edition. Last week, the Virginia House of Delegates and the Senate passed their versions of the budget. While there are some similarities, there are some differences as well. The House budget stresses significant investments in funding in areas of education, workforce development, healthcare, and it will grow Virginia's rainy day reserves to the highest peak in the history of the Commonwealth. Overall, I would characterize the House budget as one that ensures that we place a priority on teachers, children, our workforce by investing now and saving for tomorrow. This is the most progressive budget in Virginia's history, and I'm proud to have voted for it. Specifically, teachers and other government workers would get some type of pay raise under both budget bills. Under the House plan, teachers and other similarly situated workers would get 2% raises this summer and another 2% raise in the summer of 2022, as long as their local school systems match the salaries. The House would fund separate state police salary increases of 2% effective June 10th, with an additional increase based on each consecutive year of service. Local registrars, sheriff deputies, and others would get a 1% raise. Many other state workers would get 2% raises. Some other state workers would get a one-time bonus of 1%. The House would also cut a planned premium increase for state employee health care. The Senate budget is proposing higher increases in teacher pay, including a 4% raise in July of 2021. State workers would get a one-time 3% bonus in December and a 3% raise effective June 21st. Both chambers included funding to cover state costs for minimum wage increases that are working their way through the General Assembly, to allow driver's license privilege cards for non-citizens who pay Virginia taxes to move forward, and to raise cigarette and nicotine taxes. The budgets also call for a study on establishing a paid family and medical leave program for all Virginia employers that could be considered in next year's General Assembly session. In the area of K-12 public education, Northern Virginia school systems would get more money to pay staff under cost of competing adjustments, under a $9.5 million per year House proposal to partially restore that funding that was cut several years ago. Statewide, the House budget would add at least 300 pre-K slots for at-risk 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds. The governor's proposed free community college program for degrees in in-demand fields is also moving forward. All public colleges would get money under the House budget aimed at keeping undergraduate tuition flat in the first year of the budget and limited increases to 2% in the second year. The Senate budget would provide $27.5 million per year for elementary and secondary school construction or other system improvements. Other areas worth noting: in the area of health care, the House budget increased the Medicaid reimbursement rates for health care personal care workers by $164 million. It also adds 1,135 new Medicaid waiver slots for people with disabilities. The Senate version adds 1,635 waiver slots, which I support the larger amount. And it also provides $56 million to fund STEP Virginia to fund mental health services, not the least of which includes $8.5 million for permanent supportive housing. The Senate version provides $25.5 million in permanent supportive housing. Here again, I support the Senate version of that permanent supportive housing fund. Both budgets make sizable investments into a rainy day fund, bringing this fund to historic levels that will protect our AAA bond ratings. The two chambers now have 2 weeks to work out their minor differences on the spending amounts just prior to the March 7th target date of adjournment. I have every confidence that at the conclusion, we will have the most progressive budget in Virginia history that makes strong investments in education, health care, protecting our environment, and our government workers, and it will maintain Virginia's footing as the best place to do business. Well, that's all my updates for this week. Join me back here next week as we make some more progress and updates on what the bills are doing and some updates on what my bill's doing. In the meantime, if I can ever be of service to you, please contact my office at email at delhope, DELPHOPE, @house.virginia.gov. We'll see you back here next week.